This episode of Can I Kick It was filmed while following the local government's social distancing guidelines for COVID-19 prevention. Our closed set had no more than 5 people at a time. We are doing our part to bring us closer to the end of this global pandemic. Please do yours and stay safe.
Big gold Casio up in this shit. Put some lights on this shit. Yo.
Yeah, let me get my fossil in here too.
You're making me look bad, the fossil.
My bad, bro.
No, I'm playing.
Can't afford you. Yo, man, long time coming. Seriously. Family, you know how long this road has been. August, you don't know, squaddy. Let's get this business.
Real niggas worldwide.
Hey.
Bless.
Salute.
Can I Kick It Podcast, episode 27, take 1, action.
Pick. Alright. Come on down and join the oldies. My name is Kenyaga Malali, and I'd like to welcome you guys back to a very special episode of the Can I Kick It Podcast. As my homie August said, it is episode 27.
Correct.
Today, we will be featuring a guest. My homie Kyle, fan from long time.
Done already, family.
This is our first
August,
Right.
My man.
See?
Thank y'all for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
We give you the
Bro.
little fucking, we give the flowers and the cheers.
Hey.
Got this?
Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
You do whatever you want, man. August, partner of crowd, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, homie. How you feeling?
I'm all right. I feel blessed, man. We out here on a new, a little new set. We outside, you know what I mean, with the fam. We're having a couple of drinks. And we're going to introduce this new segment called Ask a Raptors Fan. Because I feel like nobody wants to talk about Toronto, and I don't really think people really get a full scale of what we think of the team because there's no real pundit that gives a shit, like on ESPN or Bleacher Report or any of those big platforms. So we're going to talk our own stuff, and we're going to make our own pundits and our own vibe because that's what we got to do. Anyways, episode 27, how we're going to do this is I think we're just going to kind of jump in and talk, what you expect for this season. So, floor is yours, and here you are today. So you've been watching for a while.
Hold on.
Yeah, we got things.
I don't mean to do the whole production thing, but you suddenly, like you were talking all that shit before and you were a bit louder.
Ooh.
Now you're super quiet all of a sudden.
I get amped.
Wake up, boy.
I get amped when we talk about LeBron.
All right, word.
My bad.
All right,
My bad.
I don't know if you can see what I'm talking
I see
about.
it.
Wake
I
up.
see
All
it.
right, we're good now.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, but you were hitting me with this Barry White shit that like it just wasn't working.
Gotta do like
We're good.
the late night radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I kick it after dark?
Exactly.
Some of the shorties know. Anyways, well, first order of business is a little staff meeting here. What you got in the cup? Got some shit in that cup. Everybody got something in their cup?
Of course. Cheers, boys.
Boys, the bigger things. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank y'all for coming through.
Yeah, man. So, you've been watching Summer League?
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit.
First of all, how long have you been watching the Raptors?
Oh, come on, man.
It's okay.
Yo,
Answer for the
so
idiots.
what people need to know, so I was born on May 20th. So I think it was May 20th, 2001. That was when Vince Carter missed that shot against Philly off the rim in Game 7. That was on my birthday. So I've been watching the Raptors, obviously, for a very long time. I didn't have a very good birthday.
You're a serious sports fan. I know how you get. You be not talking to motherfuckers for all 3 days because the Dolphins lost or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I love ball. Obviously, the Raptors, been through the ups and the downs. And, for a hot minute.
Okay. So, you obviously were here for the highest of highs, which was the championship. And now seems like we're coming back to one of those low periods. I don't think we're ever going back to the Andrea Bargnani or the Rafael Harujo or Mike James days or Anthony Parker days. But it's this year is definitely a year where it's going to be more development. So, what do you see happening? What do you see from our team? What are your expectations? What do you want to see?
Well, I think just like anybody else, my expectations are in check. This is not a championship year.
I don't know who else you've been talking to, but nobody.
Really? Who you talking to think we're going to go back to the finals this year, dog?
Every fucking idiot I talk to.
Come on, man. We're not going to the finals this year. I love the Raptors. I'm not trying to say that, no hate.
I hear you.
It's a development year.
My nigga, it's the finals with bust year. I tried to say that with
Talking
straight
to August
face.
too much. That's what's happening.
Yo, where are you getting this juice from, man?
Same juice that had me saying that Chris Boucher and Stephen Curry are the same player.
Lord.
We have to have a talk when we leave here. There's a very strong production meeting at the end of this.
Might just leave that one alone,
Don't try to edit
Clearly,
this.
I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, I know. I'm fucking with you. But yeah. So it's a develop. I won't say anybody thinks it's a finals, or bust kind of season, but I think people are so ready to blow up this team, and I ask why. If it's not a finals or bust thing, why are you rushing to blow up the team? Why are you rushing to trade Pascal when he's injured, which to me you're going to get chips for, because nobody wants an injured player. They're going to try and give you, they're going to give you that talk. We don't know what he's going to be when he comes back, so we're going to give you a couple pieces and a pick. We don't want that from Pascal. I'd rather sell high, like you said, right, if we are going to sell it all. But, I don't think – I think a lot of people are expecting these power moves like trading for a star or Dame Lillard and all that shit. I'm like, that shit ain't happening.
No.
So that's what I mean when I say people's expectations are not in check.
I think what people need to realize that the Raptors as an organization, for an organization to lose Kawhi Leonard, Serge Ibaka, Danny Green,
Keep counting.
Who else?
Marc
you want to
Gasol,
say? Marc
Kyle
Gasol,
Lowry.
Kyle Lowry, and still be in a good position where you have a strong core, where you don't have to continue to look through the draft. Like, who can we go get a superstar and be, 12 and 65 or whatever it is? We're not going to be 12 and 65.
Absolutely.
We still have a strong team. There's players that have potential, and we just need to develop them and see what they can do in this upcoming season.
Agreed. Anybody in particular? I know you had some names on your mind that you were...
OG Anunoby.
Yeah, tell me why.
I want to see what's happening with OG, man.
There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of buzz around him about the organization. Little tidbits here and there. They're saying he's taking a jump, and they expect him to take a jump. But what do you see?
He needs to take a jump.
He needs to.
Yes. He needs to be more than just a 3-and-D guy. He is good in that role, being a 3-and-D guy. But if you have guys like Scotty Barnes, and I'm sure we'll get to that, right? But you have some other young assets on the team that don't yet have the ability to create their shot. Kyle Lowry's gone. Who's creating the shots on this team to score, to put the ball in the bucket? Because it's not going to be an 80-78 final score at the end of the game. Like, we need to see guys put the ball in the bucket.
You don't think we're defensively good enough to
hold a team to 78? You're going to hold Brooklyn Nets to 78 points? So we need to put the ball in the bucket, and I feel like OG is one of those players that have been around for a few years now, where we've seen some jumps over the summer. He's had an opportunity now to work on his game over the summer, and I'm really hoping that his handles and the shot creation is something where we see a jump this year for him.
I agree with that. I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily going to be his jump, though. I think the player that I'm still looking to see a jump from is Pascal. And a lot of people feel like he's reached that ceiling, but I think I want to see him be a little bit more assertive. And I'm also going to really need to see a jump from Freddie, because I know that you can shoot the ball. I know that you can make a shot, but can you make the plays and get guys in the right spots? Because now that's your job.
So you're saying a jump from Pascal, but are you taking into consideration that Pascal is going to be gone for the first 2 months of the season?
I heard 10 games. I heard first 10 games.
I think that's wishful thinking. Like,
and if he comes back, he may be on a minute restriction too.
Exactly. Like, when you come back from injury, typically you're not expected to perform at the highest level from jump. The whole goal is to get him to perform when we're approaching the playoffs, right? You want to make sure he's in peak performance role when we're approaching the playoffs, down the stretch in March and April. That's what they're aiming for.
You mean to play in?
Okay. Fucking chill, bro. We'll get there.
Yeah.
That was a strong fucking opinion. Hold on.
It's interesting because I have a question coming, which is going to actually
Yeah,
I already know your answer.
yeah, we ready.
I
It's
just
right
gave
there.
up the goods too early.
Yeah, I
My
think you
bad,
did.
my
All
bad,
good.
my bad.
All good.
Out of fucking pocket. Here's the thing: Pascal can still take a jump, even though he's going to be injured for the first part of the season. Because I don't think that you're necessarily looking for him to go off and have 40-point games through the season. You definitely want to see some big games from him. But I think what you want to see him do is be able to control a game. Sometimes dominating a game doesn't mean that you score 21,
Yes,
25,
Barry.
or 30. Sometimes dominating means that you're gonna make those clutch buckets that I need you to make. You're gonna make the right read, the right passes. You're gonna be present in the playoffs. You're not gonna shrink. That could be the jump for him. It doesn't necessarily have to be a jump in scoring, but I do predict him scoring or averaging 25 and 9.
So, can I ask you both a question? And I don't know if this is a topic, but who's the starting lineup for the Raptors? Right? Like, is Freddie going to be the starting point guard? Is he the starting two guard?
I think he's the starting point guard.
I'm actually shocked that you're even asking me.
Why? Because there's lots of guys that can handle the ball.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If Freddie is not the starting point guard,
then who
who
the
is
fuck
the
is?
starting point guard?
You're right. You're right. We don't have a guy that can be traditionally the starting point guard right now, but we do have a lot of guys that can handle the ball
Correct.
and they can bring the ball up the court to get the offense started.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be in the traditional sense of John Stockton brings the ball up, calls a play, pick and
Yeah.
roll. Like, we don't need to do that.
No.
Anyone could do that now.
But at the same time, Freddie is the one that's been tutored. He's had the tutelage to be that guy. He's in direct contact with Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is directly teaching Freddie how to take the reins of this team.
And more
Right?
important than that, Freddie is the one that's being paid.
Yeah.
Like he's making. Like
You
I
got the
think.
bag.
I think the fact that 21 million a season kind of says that he's our starting point guard for the next 3 seasons. Actually,
At least.
yeah,
At least.
at the very least.
I think it's if I had to guess, I'd say Freddie, Gary Trent, Pascal when healthy, OG, and I really can see Kem Birch coming off the bench.
Wow.
I can really see Kem Birch coming off the bench.
Who's the other starter?
Precious Achua.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I could really see that being the case. If it doesn't start out that way, I could see it ending that way.
Can we be honest?
Yeah, I mean, I expect nothing less.
Okay, well, I'm going to start being honest now only because you said we can be honest.
What were you doing before?
I don't know. I was lying off my ass.
We really got to talk. We really got to
But-
talk.
I feel like Masai Ujiri may have an affinity towards African basketball players.
Oh,
That's not a hot take, though.
yeah. I mean, that's his program, man.
Yeah, well, I know it's
He
I
is
know
the
it's-
giant of Africa.
and I know it's not a hot take, but I'm putting it out there for the simple fact that what I'm going to say next is in line with that, which is I don't think Precious Ochua being thrown into that trade, I don't think he was thrown in.
Hold on.
I think he's enamored by the player, but in Masai's defense, I feel like Masai Ujiri might be ahead of the curve because I feel like other GMs are not tapping into the same talent pool that he is.
Yeah.
From
Right?
early, too.
So,
early.
so from right now, it looks to us like, hey, he's got an affinity for these African athletes. Whereas 10 years from now, people are going to say, oh, yeah, he's the best player coming out of Africa, and forgetting that Masai Ujiri started that shit.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that probably is true. Once America gets a hold of that,
And I
talent pool,
feel like players like Pascal Siakam, Precious Ochua are
OG
going to be the
Anunoby.
ones that set OG at,
I mean, he's still African, bro.
okay, African descent.
What's his African name?
Like,
Can you
I,
say it?
like my background is hate.
Ogundale. Never mind.
Stop it. Stop it. I like OG, and I'm not here.
My
to make fun
background
of
is
you.
Haitian, but have I ever been to Haiti? No.
Yeah. Okay.
I was
right.
born and raised in Montreal.
He's from London.
Bomb,
Right?
bomb.
Yeah, it'll definitely be that. Once the U.S. gets a hold of
I
it, it's gonna
digress.
act like whichever. But yes, go on.
Yeah.
You digress.
That was my only point. The alcohol has me veering off
Oh.
in another direction.
No problem.
Yeah.
Allow me to veer us back to a conceded point. But the thing with Precious Achua right? And it could be interesting because even him coming off that bench, I think that's where the toss up is, right? Is you know how does Scotty Barnes fit? First of all, will Scotty Barnes be a rotation bench player and be finishing games, right? Malachi Flynn and somebody that we don't talk about and people generally want to act like they don't want to talk about, but Goran Dragic,
Yeah.
right? Like that bench is
Yeah.
the Raptors, if not talented, are super deep.
So does Goran Dragic take time away from Malachi Flynn? Is
Well,
that really what we want right now?
I think what happens is Goran
As a
Dragic.
development year?
I think Goran Dragic might play the two or the off guard to Malachi Flynn. So the bench kind of looks like Malachi Flynn, Goran Dragic, Scotty Barnes, Chris Boucher,
Kem Birch,
and Kem Birch
according to
or
you.
Precious Achua.
So this was actually one of my questions for later in this episode, but I'm gonna burn it. I'm gonna use it now. Does Goran Dragic finish the season with the Raptors?
No.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay. So what are we talking about, really? When we say, hey, who's going to be the backup? If he's not finishing the season and he's coming in with that same energy that he was putting out there when he made it seem like Toronto is a very disappointing destination, what are we talking about?
But I will say this, even though I said no with the quickness, right?
I agree.
If that bench, like if the Raptors are a plus 500 team and this is the reemergence of the bench mob and Goran Dragic has anything to do with that, all of a sudden we're looking at a very different situation.
Yeah, you lose him next year for nothing.
What do
That's
you
the
mean?
situation. He's on a contract year, right? He's an
Yeah.
expiring contract.
Yeah.
I
Is he?
think so. I think he's on an expiring
But I
contract.
wouldn't say it's for nothing because I think that the veteran presence coming off the bench is huge, right? Like, I would take a JJ Barea on the bench. I would take Goran Dragic on the bench. You know what I mean? Like those chippy kind of point guards that know how to play the game and know how to set the tempo and calm down your bench mob and make sure that they're doing the things that are supposed to. That's super important. That's why Kyle Lowry was so successful because you would be able to take him off for a little bit, let Fred run it, and then have him on that bench mob run it. That was a death lineup with
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry and even Freddie. The reason that we all liked Freddie is because when he came on that bench, he was, for a young point guard, he was so calm and poised.
Yeah.
And he knew how to set the tone for those guys. So, I mean, I don't think it's a year for nothing because I think right now it's a 5-year development plan, and any time that you can get these guys learning from somebody, you're learning from the Dragon, man. Like he's not a bad player to learn from.
So why do you think that he won't be
Confirmed.
here then?
I
Confirmed.
think that he won't be here
What's the contract look like?
because
I personally, like you said, he's not going to be here. You said
Yes.
he's not going to be here. I say he's not going to be here.
yes,
And his contract says he's not going to be here.
yeah,
He's making $19.5 million this year. It's his contract year,
Yeah,
like you just said.
yeah.
but again,
And you heard what he said in the press. Clearly, he
Yes.
doesn't want to be here. We know that if he becomes a free agent, he's gone.
yes, but again,
They're going to try to get value with
You
him.
have to.
he's
Not Kyle Lowry. He's
No,
not the
I get it.
heart and soul of your
Yeah.
organization.
I
where
get it.
He's not the
matters.
greatest Raptor of all
Exactly.
time.
No.
He needs.
I get it, but what he is he's a veteran presence that you can put out there with the bench and these young guys, these really young guys, Delano Banton, all these other guys, and he can be there.
Toronto, we're coming home, baby. See you soon.
In a 5-year development plan, it's great to have, like, he is now just a professor. And even if he walks away, I'd rather him walk away and he was able to teach my young guys than trade him for nothing, right? Because even if I do trade Goran Dragic, I want something because I know about 4 or 5 teams out there that really want.
Dragon with his first triple of the game. Points in the quarter alone, 26 for the night. Dragic, kaboom. Couple of threes for the Dragon in his third quarter game is
Definitely not great Anthony Edwards.
I just think either way, whether he stays or whether he goes, I think that the Raptors will find a way to get the proper return out of him. So if he does stay, they will use him to tutelage the younger players, and I think that's worth the $19 million, to be honest, because not every team has that. We know how hard it is to have a veteran, and if he goes, I'm sure Masai is not getting fleeced because Masai is the fleecer.
Yeah. He's not getting fleeced.
Yeah.
James Dolan, the New York Knicks, how they almost traded for Kyle Lowry, and then he literally vetoed that trade because like, nah, I seen what you did to me with Carmelo Anthony, so that it's vetoed.
I mean, this would go like far left, but imagine that trade went through.
Oh my God.
This is a whole different,
many things are different
timeline.
Yeah.
On what happened with the Raptors.
Because if he's gone, then DeMar's gone way early.
Yo, dog, we don't even
DeMar's gone way earlier, and we're basically the Charlotte Hornets.
Damn. Thank God,
In Messiah we trust, boy. In Messiah we trust.
In Messiah we trust.
Done now.
No doubt.
All right. I mean, so we did the Goran Dragic thing. You know, we're talking. You know, what does it look like? Where do you see Scotty Barnes at? What do you see his role at? Are you worried about what kind of impact he's going to have? Do you think he's going to have a big impact? Do you think we have to wait years to see the impact? What do you think?
I think he's going to have impact from game to game. I don't think it's going to be consistent where you want him to be in your starting lineup and really depend on him to be a solid contributor for 82 games. Okay. I think he can contribute on the defensive end for 82 games, whether it be in the starting lineup and some spot starts or coming off the bench. But his offensive game, like to put the ball in the bucket, that needs some work, man. I don't believe in his offensive game yet, Scotty Barnes. I know you're going to get there, but you're a young guy, and right now you're going to hang your hat on the defensive end.
Scotty Barnes watching like, when's the last time you played basketball?
Yo, you don't want to be that. Yeah, I'm
I feel like Scotty Barnes' offense is going to have one hell of an upside. GM drafts somebody, the coach knows, hey, you want to make your boss look good, make that draft pick look good. I think the focus is going to be on Scotty Barnes, and from what I've seen some off-season workouts or whatnot. I think before we know it, he's going to be shooting three-pointers at a 38-39% clip.
Do you see
on the
his
cusp
form?
of 40.
Do you like his form?
I don't like
it.
it.
Starts from like the hip.
I don't like his form, but that doesn't change what I'm saying. I might have to play this back later with my head down, but I personally think, form or not, I see him shooting at a 38-30, a surprisingly high clip.
38?
38-39.
In year one?
Not in year one.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Because remember I was talking about this is Masai's project?
Right.
He's Masai's newest Bruno Caboclo.
He's better than Bruno.
But what I'm getting at is, mark my words, by year 3, we're going to see something like a 39% clip. Like on the cusp of 40.
Okay.
Somebody got a drone? God damn.
Damn, you people.
Out here.
Fuck.
Y'all used to shooting indoors, yo.
Right?
I was about to say, that's kind of nuts.
It's a drone.
Just watching us. I'll get that shit shot down next time. Blah. Anyways, I think...
that's what they do in Haiti.
I think Scotty Barnes will have an immediate impact.
Yeah.
I think he'll have an immediate impact, and I don't necessarily see, like... The thing about Scotty is whether or not he can shoot it, from what I can see so far, he will fucking shoot it. And the thing about the Raptors offense is that if Ken Burch came here shooting threes, then you are being told to fucking shoot the ball. And Scotty Barnes is going to have... Well, first of all, they're going to leave him open.
Ken Burch shoots threes?
Ken Burch was shooting threes ever since he got to Toronto last year.
Clearly, I wasn't watching as much of the games as I should have been.
Check his attempts.
Right? You know, and it's been a thing with the Raptors pretty much ever since like the end of Valanciunas. That we manufacture shots, very wide open shots for the 5 men. Serge Ibaka benefited from it. Chris Boucher benefited from it. Valanciunas benefited from it. Marc Gasol could have benefited from it, but
yeah, he was not shooting well when
he was here. I don't know. He fell off as soon as he got here, but I mean, he was coming off an injury as well, right? But yeah, I think Scotty Barnes has an immediate impact. I think we're going to be very surprised, and I think from seeing what I don't like his shot form at the three necessarily, and I don't like. It's not that I don't like it. I don't like the way it starts, but I do like the way it finishes.
Yeah.
Right.
My issue was the hip.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what I mean? But from where it finishes, it looks good mechanically. I do like his touch around the basket and his footwork around the basket was a surprise to me. I don't care if those are two fadeaways and I only saw two of them. Those are two difficult shots to take, and you did them with ease. You went right into your move. You took two dribbles from the 3-point line. Boom, boom, turn around, fadeaway. Those are two very difficult shots to take over the defense, and if you can get to your spot and master that, which is I think if I'm the coach, I'm looking at him like, yeah, you're gonna watch some tape on Kawhi. You understand where you're supposed to be. We're gonna work on your footwork in the post, and I'm cool with you being a mid-range assassin and shooting the three at an okay clip. You know what I mean? He's Ben Simmons with the desire to shoot. He is. He's Ben Simmons with the desire to shoot. If Ben Simmons had the fucking desire to shoot it from the 3-point line, he'd be a completely different player. He just doesn't want to do it.
I'm tired of seeing these off-season videos
of Ben Simmons shooting threes,
hitting shit from the mid-range, from the 3-point range, and it's like you get to the game and he's just hell-bent on making sure he doesn't do what you want him to do.
Well, it's different when you're playing against the guys at the LA Fitness, isn't it?
It is.
But they're giving him open shots in the NBA, and he's not taking them.
That's
the difference.
Point.
I don't understand. You went and worked on it, right? You got called out. Like, Joel Embiid called you out. And yeah, maybe you don't like being called out. I get it that we live in this nice new league where everybody's friends. But your teammate basically said, that's what we needed to win.
Your teammate basically said, fucking shoot the ball.
Right? Yeah. Now, you're working on it, and it's looking like it's going well, but you're not talking to the team? What the fuck is your problem, man?
Is that real, or is that just like...
I don't know. Apparently he hasn't, nobody's been able to reach him. He's not returning the team's calls. He's not talking to the team.
So the last thing I heard is that the team is prepared to start the season with Ben Simmons on the roster.
Of course.
He's a valuable asset. They didn't get the trade they wanted, but you do know, as soon as that trade deadline hits, as soon as we approach it, all you're going to hear is Ben Simmons trade rumors.
He's not going nowhere, man. You might hear the rumors, but he's not going nowhere.
Not playing like that.
What do you mean? He's an all-star player. The only thing is he's not shooting the ball.
They keep playing that highlight of him driving.
He better than Melo?
At this point in Melo's career, Ben Simmons can impact the game in more ways than Carmelo Anthony can.
That was a very political answer.
That's the real answer.
No, it's not political. It's actually it's facts.
Plays better defense. He can set up the offense. Yeah. He's a wicked passer. He runs the fast
He's
break.
considered an all-NBA defender.
Yeah.
Like, he impacts the game much more than Melo does. It's not even political. It's a fact.
Melo's going to be an all-star this year.
Yo, nigga.
You heard it here first.
Yo, if that happens, I want my flowers.
Okay, so I'm gonna take us back to episode 1, and I'm gonna say, Kani, this podcast needs credibility.
I don't. Melo be all-star this year.
Yo, double down. Which Melo? LaMelo Ball?
I think LaMelo Ball has a better chance.
We'll talk about that later at All-Star break.
Yo, this guy.
We'll talk about that later. Don't worry about that for now. Don't worry about it, dog. All right. Okay. August, you had some questions for us, man. Talk to me, dog.
All right, we're doing that?
Yeah, let's do the questions, dude.
Okay.
Let's do the questions. Because we do this all night.
So I'm going to ask Kyle first.
He stood up straight.
I'm going to ask Kyle first. Kyle's going to give me his answer. I'm going to ask you next. You're going to give me your answer. And I'm going to chime in with what I think. But we're going to try to hit this rapid fire.
Okay.
All right? First question. The Toronto Raptors, the 21-22 iteration of the Toronto Raptors, over or under 43 wins?
Over slightly.
Over.
August.
I love my team. Let me just say that first. But this podcast needs credibility.
Damn.
I think we're going to be under.
Wow.
Hey,
82-game season, though, right? So 41 wins is 500.
41 wins is 500. I think we peak at 500 based on the fact that Pascal Siakam is not going to be available until sometime around Christmas. So I think we're going to lose a lot of games early. I'm just,
I
you
think
know
you're
me.
missing the fact that we are re-energized by being back home by our fans.
This is true.
Right.
I'm not missing that fact. I'm thinking with that in mind, we're going to be a 500 team. We might finish, I'll put it this way. I think we're going to finish with anywhere between 38 and 44 victories.
Yeah, over slightly.
I'm going to rephrase that.
I'm on the high end.
I think we're going to finish anywhere between 32 and 44 victories.
32? Kani, dog.
He's on blow.
Some of the teams in the East have re-upped, and I'm starting to feel like the balance of power is shifting. And I'm fully dependent on Masai Ujiri doing what Masai Ujiri does. In the event that he doesn't, to me it's more likely than not that we finish sub 500.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Rapid
That's
fire.
just me.
All right, cool. What we got? What else you got?
I said rapid fire, but clearly
We just need to
You got the
touch
longest
base on that
answer.
for a second.
You got the longest one.
Because he had to defend his
of course.
fuckery,
I feel like
On blow. Good stuff.
you call it
That
on
juice.
blow. He calls it defending my fuckery.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
either way.
Question number 2. Malachi Flynn, over or under 15.5 points per game?
Under.
Go.
Under.
Yeah, under. Under.
You say over or under?
I
15.5 points per game.
Your boy Gary Trent gonna be taking them shots.
yeah, but Malachi coming off the bench, man. He could be over. I think Malachi give us like maybe right at 50. Maybe right at 50.
Okay. I said under.
Okay, fair
Okay.
enough.
All right. Next. Will Malachi Flynn be finishing games for the Toronto Raptors next season?
Okay, that's a tough rapid fire question. I'm gonna say no.
I'll add a little more to
Okay.
it. If not him, who?
Like from the bench guys, I'll probably have Kem Birch. Probably like based on what Kenny's saying, that Ken Birch will be coming off the bench.
Could.
Right? You have Chris Boucher coming off the bench.
Okay.
I see those two players that will probably be finishing the game before Malachi. Obviously, Freddie's going to be finishing, and I think Gary Trent will probably be the second guard, even though he's probably slotted in as a 3. But because we'll be playing positionless, we may be a little small in the middle. Okay, I know it's rapid fire, so y'all go ahead. I'm going to say no.
Not unless Fred is injured.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say yes. I think that just like the trade, Gary Trent Jr. is the new Norman Powell. Did Norman Powell end games for us?
Sometimes.
Okay. And I think that's what Gary Trent is.
We had a lot more talent when Norman was on the team, though, right? You got Kyle, you got Fred, you got guys.
Because he is a Masai Ujiri draft pick, not to make this political, but I think it matters to the coach that he's playing, that he's making his boss look good.
Only based on your prediction of the Raptors winning 32 games this year, I can see that happening.
So I never said 32.
Did you say 32?
So I just said they're likely to win somewhere between 32 and 44.
That's a big range, too, guy. How we let him get away with that? It's a huge
12
range.
I don't know how.
I'm just saying.
We already decided it was fuckery. from the time
Yeah,
you said
dog.
it.
Yeah, that range is ridiculous. Get out of
I'm just being a realist.
Okay.
But no, he can't be an all-star.
Wow.
Nothing.
So clearly my version.
And listen, you got all the long answers to these rapid fire questions.
Clearly my version of rapid fire and your version of rapid
Two
fire are two
fucking different
completely
things.
different
Word,
things.
word. It's
Next
me that's fucking
question.
it up.
Oh wow, I'm only on 2 of 5. OG Anunoby. Will he be in the final 3 for most improved player this season?
No.
Yeah,
I say yes.
I agree.
How much did OG average last year? 16? So What, is he going to make a 5-point jump? Is he going to be a 21-point per game scorer?
Yeah.
So if he does end up being a 21-point scorer, which is, to me, is entirely possible.
Gary Trent's going to try and take all of our shots.
But, yeah, he is.
It's your boy.
But I'm just saying, if OG actually scores 21 points per game, he's got to be the league's most improved player.
And just one final point. I think it's very difficult to be the most improved player when your team isn't in top 8 playoff position.
I'm happy you actually said that. Of the following 3 teams, who do you feel will have the best record next season? The Washington Wizards?
Not them.
The Charlotte...
The Wizards the worst team in the league?
It's not them, yo.
Can't even listen to the other teams. So.
I was about to say, the Washington Wizards, the Charlotte Hornets, or the Toronto Raptors?
It'll be Toronto.
Hold on, what's the question?
Who will have the best
Which
record?
one of these 3 teams will have the best record?
This is a trick question?
It's the Toronto
It isn't.
Raptors. Toronto Raptors, possibly Charlotte, but Toronto.
Okay, so you're dismissing Washington, cool. But are
Absolutely.
you automatically saying that the Raptors, who will not have Pascal Siakam for the first 30 games of the season,
Who did Washington get?
They got rid of Westbrook.
they got rid of Westbrook?
Maybe they will be better. Let me clarify something. The only fucking reason that Washington was in the playoffs, like the play-in last year,
Because Russell
is
Westbrook.
because it's because the Raptors had COVID and played in Tampa.
Damn.
That's the only fucking reason that Washington was even breathing the playoff air.
Yo, shout out to Bradley Beal, dog. You want to come play for the man, them, dog? You know what it is already.
Honestly, it's not your fault, brother. I saw you average 30-something.
6.
Yo, he was leading scorer up until Steph. Was it?
Up until like the last weekend, when
Yeah.
Steph
When
took
Steph
over
said,
because he was
Wow.
injured.
I'm going to do 50 a game.
That was wild. That
Because
was
he was injured, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Who did you think was going to be?
I thought it was a trick question. The Toronto Raptors.
All right, cool.
Okay,
You-
cool. I actually say the Raptors.
Okay, cool. Nobody said Washington.
But-
I told you Washington wasn't it.
Yo, it's a home team podcast too. Like, I'm not gonna say the Hornets are gonna have a better. Nah,
Yeah, but
Possibly, but, like-
Charlotte had playing experience.
this
This
is
is-
championship
This
experience.
is between
guys.
Charlotte and
Outta here.
fucking
Charlotte's
and
trash.
Toronto.
Okay, so
Well,
here's
no
the last
ball.
question. Let's
No,
wrap
just
it
stop
up.
talking
All
these IG models.
Last question has 7 answers to it. Missing the play-in. Play-in exit, first round exit, second round exit, conference finals exit, or they win the championship. Where do you think the Raptors end the season? And be very careful because there's a very good chance that I bring this back
Oh, good chance. Oh, I know you.
when the season is all
Damn,
said
do I
and
gotta go
done.
first? Can I defer?
No.
Damn.
You know what? I'm asking a question. I'll go first.
Okay.
You let him off the hook like that?
Yeah, I let him off the hook for the 32 to 44.
My man.
Did not. All right, go ahead.
Didn't. I was on him.
He's a guest. I'm not going to put him on the spot.
That's the whole
dog.
point.
Allow it,
That's
dog.
the whole
Allow
point.
it.
That's
Allow
why
it.
you're here.
So this is what I'm saying. The 2021-2022 iteration of the Toronto Raptors, I'll be very specific. I feel like they're going to make the play-in tournament and lose in the play-in.
Okay.
And it pains me to say it, but this is me trying to give this podcast credibility.
Not doing a good job.
Really? Because I'm the one that told you that the Knicks has... Anyway.
You said they had the best defense in the league, and then Trae Young took a bow. First of all, when the Knicks are finishing the top 3 defenses,
Trae Young took a bow.
He took a bow. That's how that ended. This is how it was going. That's how it ended, right? And again, what I said was, yes, the Raptors have the best defensive schemes in the league. They may not have had the talent to pull it off last year, but still, if you listen to anybody talk about that team from opposing podcast, or opposing cast, or opposing, color commentary, the Raptors are known for what? Their fucking defense. Okay. Anyways, Kyle, sorry, I had to defend myself. Felt
Okay.
attacked.
Okay.
Felt attacked.
All right.
Credibility.
I feel you. So, you want to go? You want me to go?
No, go ahead, man.
Okay. So I had to think about this question for a second. This can't be a rapid fire question, but I'm gonna try to answer it as concise as I can. Brooklyn,
Okay.
Milwaukee, Miami, Philly, Atlanta, New York, Knicks,
I wouldn't be surprised if they missed the playoffs next year.
Boston.
Yeah.
Who else am I missing there?
Say Miami.
Yeah, I did. What I'm trying to do is look at who I think are the top
10,
8 teams in the league and who the Raptors can beat from 7 and 8. Okay.
That's all good.
I agree with you, August. Unfortunately, as it pains me.
Barring
Nah. First round exit.
Okay.
First round exit. I'm not sure Boston's as strong as they were last year. They lost a few guys. They have a new coach, so that might take a little bit of time to get adapted to.
True.
Indiana, I'm not sure if I believe in them. Charlotte, I think they're still a little bit too young.
It
Yes,
was
they have
Indiana.
playoff experience.
I'm just remembering O'Shea Brissett was there talking shit.
Oh, yeah.
It was Indiana.
It was
pretty
Indiana.
sure.
They need to come off Miles Turner and just let him come to Toronto.
Okay, I'm gonna say a first round exit. I think we play in the play-in, and I think we can probably win a game or two in the play-in, depending on where we finish off. But it's gonna be tough, man. And really, I'm only saying that as a homer. I don't think I truly believe in my heart that we'll get out of the play-in. All right, yo. Let me hear from the guy, yo.
Yeah.
Raptors going to the finals this year? What's up?
Just remember, this podcast needs credibility.
I think it's a first round exit. I think they're better than the play-in. And the reason I think they're better than the play-in is, let's just remember where this team was last year, before COVID and before the injuries. They were in fucking 4th place. Nobody expected that. Yes, we lost Kyle Lowry. I understand that. So here's my predicate for them being in that play-in. If Fred remains healthy,
Okay.
if Fred remains healthy and doesn't get injured at any point and is allowed to assert himself as a leader of this team, because it's his team now, right? Pascal is your highest paid player, but just as before, Fred sets the culture, the tone, the steadiness. So if he's healthy, I think we could be in top 6, yes.
I think what it comes down to is, I think you guys hit the ceiling. Because when we really break it down, first round exit, they can't really go much further than that. The only way they go much further, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, only way the Raptors go further than a first round exit is if they finish better than 6th in the conference. Because if you finish 7 or 8, you're going to be facing Brooklyn or Milwaukee in the first round. And as currently structured, you're not beating Brooklyn. And you're not beating the reigning championship Bucks.
Let's understand something.
They're not leaving in the first round.
The reigning championship Bucks didn't have to face the Raptors, and the Raptors drew up how to beat the reigning championship Bucks.
True.
They drew that up.
But with the current personnel, if they have to play the Bucks next season in the first round of playoffs, they're done. The only way they can go further in the first round is they finish 6th, which means they avoid the play-in and they play either
Miami. You sure about that?
The question is,
I'm not saying they'd beat Miami because I was the one that said they lose in the
they
play-in.
go further than a first round.
Yeah, but I'm saying the only scenario that I see where they go further than the first round is if they make it, if they finish in 6th or better, and they beat that team.
That surprised
me. Because if they finish 7th or 8th, whoever finishes 1st or 2nd, they're not. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. Here's one thing about Milwaukee.
That's just me.
I think a lot of this depends on, first of all, Milwaukee, yes, they won a championship this year. Give them their flowers. They played great, but they also lost some personnel that it's going to hurt them. They lost PJ Tucker and a couple
to Miami. Miami.
Yes, I agree that Drew Holiday is an all-world defender. And if Giannis is going to continue this free throw shooting thing, then they are going to be a fucking problem.
He does it when it matters.
Right?
He proved it.
Once.
He proved it.
2,
Once.
3,
right?
4. I'm counting.
A big thing.
My bad.
That was true.
A big thing also is how good is Chicago going to be?
Ooh, we didn't even talk about them.
How good is Chicago going to be? Because if the Chicago plan flops, there's an opening there. So you know what I mean? All I'm saying,
DeRozan,
Levine,
and Ball.
Yeah. But yo, it's great when your starters come out. We've seen this with the Raptors. It's great when your starters come out and put in work. But when those starters go to sit down and rest, especially in the playoffs, if you're not deep enough, and from what I can see with the Raptors, is that your ass is going to be dealing with 6'9" dog defenders all night long. Whether or
They'll
not
be
you
tough
like
in
it.
a 7-game series because
Right.
they defend, and you have a chance to game plan.
Right, like this defense now. Maybe we didn't have the personnel last year in a way because Aaron Baines.
Oh, God.
Okay, Aaron Baines.
Never discuss that again.
And we were still fucking fourth before COVID hit, and we had to give up half the team.
That shit pissed me off, man. We were 17-17. I was talking shit.
Word.
I was taking bets.
Word, we was doing all kinds of wild shit because we were still fourth. But let's not forget what this team was before COVID hit them. While they were in Tampa playing without their fans. And let's attribute that to this season. Yes, some people have made some changes, but Cleveland still sucks. Indiana's still mediocre. Who else is in the East? Boston might be good, but I think we're long enough. Like right now at this point, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to have to deal with OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, fucking Scotty Barnes, Isaac Bonga. Like all
Chris
night
Boucher.
long, you're just dealing with Chris Boucher. You're just dealing with long fucking guys all night long on the perimeter. You know what I mean? So if you want to dance on that perimeter, that's cool, but you're going to be out there for a while. And then you got Fred, who's looking to take the ball from you every chance he gets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fred had a horrible series in that Philly, in that championship run with Philly. But I watched that game back. There are so many key plays where Fred turns around, Joel Embiid is in the post, and Fred's right there for the strip as Joel Embiid's making his move to go into the post or turning around to post up. Like, this is a dogged defensive team, right? And Gary Trent Jr. they're gonna manufacture a lot of open fucking shots.
I just want him to play within the offense, though, man.
Yeah, well,
I really don't want him to
Gary
start
Chuck
trying to
Jr.
act like he's Mike James.
Well, I think he's not Masai's guy, to your credit.
I
and I
can't
think what's
believe
gonna
you said
happen,
that name.
Yeah, Mike
Yo,
James.
remember Mike James scored 20 points a
I
game?
played for the name. I played for the name on the back back of the jersey, not the front.
Yeah, that's wild.
The man said
That Mike James?
That one. That
Yeah,
one.
the one that was on the floor helping Kobe Bryant score his 81.
Well, there was a whole lot of guys responsible for
That
that.
was Kobe's birthday the other day. Shout out to the God. They showed
Boom,
that.
boom, boom.
They showed
But,
Rest in
the
peace.
whole, what's it called?
But
Yeah. Anyways, second round, first round exit, second round surprise. We'll see what happens.
no, I don't think anybody said second round. If I'm very
He
honest.
said second round surprise.
Second
So,
round
I mean,
surprise.
Okay.
First round exit, second round surprise. So we'll see. You know what I mean? But at this point, we'll call it quits because we could do this all night. Kyle, mad love, homie. Appreciate you,
y'all,
man. Thank you for
I
coming
really
on.
do appreciate y'all.
This is
was
a great
so much
time,
fun.
man.
I feel like the chemistry was good, man. Like, when
Yeah.
I watch this back, I hope that, it's as good as I think it is.
We're going to edit out
it's
all your
just-
good parts.
Y'all haters, yo. Y'all haters.
August.
First ever guest on the Can I Kick It podcast.
Honored,
know what I
honored,
mean?
honored. Can we get a clap right there, too?
Yeah.
Honored.
You know what I'm saying?
Hit it.
Yeah.
Folks, I'd like to thank you for hanging with us. Leave comments, like, subscribe. Apparently it really helps. I have no idea yet.
If you don't like this shit, tell us it's trash.
Yeah, tell us it's trash. If you don't like the takes, also comment on that. But until next episode, peace. We kicking with you again. One up.
Salute.